Trinity United Church in Charlottetown has a remarkable number of beautiful stained glass windows that surround and inspire congregation members as they gather for worship on Sunday mornings. Everyone who has stepped inside this beautiful sanctuary knows well the impact of the colors and images contained in these windows. This commentary is inspired and informed by the recent book written about the historic windows by Reginald Porter. The Great West Window at Trinity, known as the Praise God or Doxology window, was the first major stained glass window to be installed in the church and dates back to the period 1885 to 1887. The window came from the stained glass studio of McCausland's in Toronto and was the first of many fine windows destined for Trinity that originated in that shop. Robert McCausland Limited was founded in Toronto in 1857 and is the oldest surviving stained glass studio in North America. This striking piece of glass art measures 14 feet by 18 feet tall and depicts 3 musical angels, 2 playing valveless bugles or trumpets, and 1 playing the viol, the predecessor of the violin. Each angel is set in a separate scene that lines up with the doxology text, "Praise God, from whom all blessings flow." The upper part of the Gothic-shaped window is filled with floral designs, as well as religious imagery, a dove, bread, and the cup. The 2 magnificent windows that flank the pipe organ are located in the northeast gallery and southeast gallery. Both windows are also creations of Robert McCausland, and both measure 9 feet wide by 14 feet high and date back to 1904. Both were installed in memory of Robert Longworth by his son. "Peace be to this house," Luke 10:5, is the biblical reference to the northeast gallery window. The inscription in the window reminds us that a heart might be troubled or afraid and that Jesus will make things right with his healing presence. Peace will be restored, and once again all will be well. The southeast gallery window is a depiction of Christ taking leave of his mother, with the biblical reference from John 14, "Let not your heart be troubled, ye believe in God, believe also in me." This strikingly sad moment between mother and son as he departs has even more gravity, considering the next time they meet is as he is dying on the cross. Six of the 10 aisle windows also come from McCausland's studio, and they all date back to 1897 to 1903. Beginning with the windows at the back of the church, on the north aisle window we have a creation of Luxfer Studios, dated post-1948. The theme is the 3 Marys, and the context is Luke 24-26. "He is not here, but is risen." Window 2 comes from Luxfer Studios and is a more contemporary design, dating post-1929. It is known as the Memorial Window, a tribute to lives lost during World War I. The quote here is adapted from 2 Timothy. "I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith." Window 3 is an allegory of hope and love. Hope is depicted as a young woman wearing a necklace with a star on it. In her hand, she holds a large anchor, an early Christian symbol for the cross, hope, and salvation. The fourth window from the back is Jesus visiting Mary and Martha. Mary is seen listening intently to the words of Jesus, while her sister Martha prepares a meal. She carries a tray of fruit and bread, and a wine glass is already on the table. And in the fifth window on the north aisle, we see the Good Shepherd and St. John. Here, Jesus appears carrying a lamb and a shepherd's crook. John the Evangelist appears holding a quill and an open book that would later become his gospel. The south aisle windows, this time starting from the front, feature yet more classic McCausland designs. The first window is themed, Jesus doing good and healing all who are oppressed, taken from Acts 10. Here Jesus goes about healing the sick and giving blessings. It's perhaps one of the most perfectly composed windows in the church. The second window on the south side is the light of the world and allegory of faith. The left panel refers to the familiar, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock," and the right panel is labeled faith. The third window is a depiction of presentation in the temple. This McCausland design is very unique in its openness and integration into the supporting frame structure of the window. It stands out in artistic contrast from all the other windows in the church. And the biblical reference here is Luke 2, "Then took him up in his arms and blessed God." The fourth window is another creation of Luxfer Studios and dates back to 1929. It's described as the angel of the resurrection and the agony in the garden. The window is best viewed from right to left, with Jesus kneeling in the garden and then to the angel of resurrection, as described in Matthew 28. The fifth window on the south side, or the window you encounter first as you enter the south from the back, is David instructs Solomon to build the temple. It's a product of Luxfer Studios and was dedicated in 1939. The window is more complex to view as it's a summary of events described in different books of the Bible. There is, however, one direct quotation on the window from Revelation. "They rest from their labor, and their works do follow them." These stained glass treasures of Trinity United Church have stood proudly in the sanctuary for well over 100 years. They are no less significant than the highly valued stained window art of England and Europe.